Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Cities Skylines Utopia. In the last episode, we built the airport. Actually, this is episode 4, my bad. But yes, in the last episode, we built the airport out. UTX, Utopia International Airport. And today, we're taking the next step, because we needed an airport pretty badly for tourists, and also for the city to be in and out, because it is still important, even for a walkable city, including on this end, like Habibi Shores. Well, now we're building the University of Utopia, Habibi Shores campus, because I think what I'm going to do, this is what I had an idea of after, as I was about to complete this build actually today, is I actually decided I think I might actually go for building a second campus. It's going to be a smaller one, obviously, in downtown, although then again, in vanilla, I don't really think there's a reason for me to do that, because admittedly, there's never going to be enough population, I don't think, for it to matter, but I thought I could at least build a second campus there, and I could have the varsity sports there, which I think could be interesting if that's all I do, or I could build a different kind of campus there, but still call it University Utopia, and then downtown probably. This entire episode is going to be one big time lapse, so I hope you do enjoy it. Admittedly, this episode, the recording time I think was 5 hours and 21 minutes. Because one thing led to another. Well, one, I get tunnel vision when I play this game. I completely forgot that that's why I kind of stopped playing it for 4 years. One of the reasons was because I get so stuck, and it's horrible for my health for many reasons, including dehydration purposes, because, yeah. So this episode, yeah, it was so long because, not just because of that, but also, and mainly because of the fact that once I built this, I decided there's a good few gaps in our Habibi Shores walkable neighborhood, which means that there's not any real residential demand. In fact, you can see it on the bottom of the screen here. It's clearly, there's no residential demand, which is a bit of a problem. However, what is not a problem is adding more commercial and especially more industry, aka offices. I also had to deal with a handful of other things, but I won't bore you with those details. But one of them was, let's just say I may or may not have made a pretty big mistake and had no idea I did it, even though I checked like 3 times in a row to verify I didn't make this mistake. I may or may not have made that mistake. That's all I'm saying. I definitely have to kill you if I told you that, as a matter of fact, either direction. So be careful what you wish for. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this time-lapse of the building of the rest of the University of Utopia, Habibi Shores campus. Now, I'm going to jump in here just for a moment, because anybody who feels that this is just a little bit messy of a layout for the university and even some of the road systems, you're not 100% wrong. One, I'm not nitpicking, and two, I can't do that even if I wanted to, because this is vanilla, and if I'm taking 5 hours to do stuff without nitpicking, imagine how long it's going to take me to do it with being OCD and nitpicking. Not going to happen. That said, it is messy because of that reason, and mainly because of the fact that it is vanilla. I can't exactly help it. So, just for gentle reminder, this is a vanilla series entirely, so do be aware of that. Here you can see that I am doing some rezoning, as I kind of alluded to there a little bit earlier. I'm also adding in this road here, and basically I took a bunch of extra time, not only to rezone, but especially to add in a bunch of walking paths throughout this Habibi Shores walkable community, and even the non-walkable area, the non-plazas, the promenades DLC area of Habibi Shores. I made sure I went through and I ended up saying F it and just connected everything I could with more pedestrian paths. So it's even more interconnected, even more pedestrian-centric and friendly of a community than it originally even was. Also, you can totally don't notice at all the clear destruction of another fire, this time in the main park as well as the shoreline, but you don't see that. It's an illusion, I promise you. It didn't happen again for unknown reasons, because I totally am not having constant fire issues in the city. I don't know what you're talking about. As you see here, I am dragging out some of those walking paths I was before mentioning. And now here, I'm going to build a bit of a park. Put air quotes around park, because technically in the game, this is not considered functionally a park. None of these props are going to be used, unfortunately. But the likelihood is there's a mod for that. Again, this is a strictly vanilla little mini-series, so admittedly, we're not going to see that, unfortunately. I really wish I could get away with it, but I can't. So this is more for, there's that evil word that is overly used these days, aesthetics. But it's for more aesthetics than anything, because you had to use your imagination with this park, as if everybody in the area is going to, of course, be using it. And I'm sure plenty of people even passing through would happily use this. Obviously, the paths will be used. Just the assets within the park won't be, unfortunately. Also, I don't know if any of you have made this a point or noticed this before, but City Skylines benches, for some reason, are gigantic. Like, they are almost... You know what, I'm gonna even say this. They're basically immorally oversized. I cannot emphasize that enough. I do not understand why they're so gigantic. They dwarf even the cars. They're like half the size of a city bus, or more like a third of the size of a city bus. Legitimately, I think they're a third of the size of a city bus in this game. They are so huge. And then look at the benches in comparison. The scaling on the benches, or on the picnic tables, make absolutely no logical sense. I'm not sure why or how to me, they kind of screwed up with that one, but they did. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because that's been bugging me for some time. So there you go, and that's your little park. I want to thank everybody for watching today's episode 4 of City Skylines Utopia, or CS Utopia. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm saying too much, aren't I? I'm becoming Gavin Newsom, Brent Pella's edition of Gavin Newsom. I definitely enjoyed making this university. I did not enjoy, that is, getting so distracted that I ended up having to do a bunch of other things and getting tunnel vision and going on for another 3 hours after I did this. But it happened and it was needed. And again, you forget about it. I totally didn't make a mistake that I'm not going to talk about. That you totally didn't see here. Hinted. I really want to thank you for getting vaccinated and staying boosted while you're out there in the wilds of California. Also, don't forget that if you look really hard, you can almost see my dick. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't seen Brett Pelle, you definitely should, especially his Gavin Newsom impression.